Danny Ceballos with Unleashed Consulting and your best boss, Take Five. Take Five are opportunities for me to share with you tips, strategies, tools, things that will make your job easier and more effective as a people manager, as a best boss. For these next few Take Fives, this one and our next two, we're going to be talking about the importance of really leveraging your team building efforts. And we're going to start with ground zero, which is basically when we're talking about team building, we are really talking about working with an entity called the team, but also the components of that team, which is really one body at a time. So for this Take Five, I wanted to talk to you about what you can do to best leverage that one-to-one relationship that you have with each of your team members in an effort to build that team. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was the idea of really getting connected with what are the internal motivators, the whys that are really compelling and inspiring each of your individual members. What is most important to them about the team? What is most important to them in terms of their aligning with their own values so that they can bring their best and offer their best with their team? One of the best ways that I know of doing that is to start creating a file for each of your teammates, each of your team members that I call a thumbprint file. A thumbprint is as unique to each person as anything can be, and so oftentimes are their motivators. So to start thinking about basically the platinum rule, and the platinum rule says, do unto others as they want to be done unto. So start keeping a file for what really motivates, compels, inspires each of your people. You'll be able to draw on that later on, but it's really important to start recording those things so that you have a really good idea of what it takes to really bring out the best in people. And one of the best ways of doing that, number two, think about an assessment or a tool where you can start to dig into what are the values and the modus operandi for each of our team members. I'm a big fan of the DISC assessment, DISC. If you're familiar with that, you know that basically says that there are four strong categories, four different categories for how we connect with each other, relate to each other, communicate with each other. Highly recommend the DISC. If you're interested in having the DISC for your team, please let me know. I'm one of the certified folks that can actually offer the DISC. But there are other kinds of assessments out there if you do a Google search, but really start to think about how you can start to create that motivational thumbprint, and then secondly, assess what are the values and ways of being that will really inspire and motivate each of your people. And the third strategy that for building those one-on-one relationships with your team is I want you to start really leveraging that time at the beginning of your team meetings that we're going to call the connection before content time. This is a time where folks get to be vulnerable with each other. They get to share with each other. They get to check in with each other. It is not a throwaway time. So your next team meeting, make sure that you devote the first 5 minutes to checking in with folks so that they can say how they're doing, what they need to say right now to be fully present. And if you stay tuned in one of our next Take Fives, not the next one, but the one right after it, I'll be sharing 3 really useful exercises with building vulnerability that you can incorporate into your connection before content time. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. This is Danny Ceballos with Unleashed Consulting and your best boss, Take Five. I hope to get to hear from you soon. And by the way, if you're interested in hearing some more about strategies, tools, tips, techniques, and a really robust way of leading and managing your people, I would love to tell you about my Best Boss Bootcamp. So feel free to reach out to me. Let's schedule a call and let me tell you a little bit about that program designed for both individual managers and for cohorts of managers. All right, take good care, and we'll see you next time for our Best Boss Take Five. Bye now.